Hi there, Christian Brim again. Welcome to Core Focus, where we give you one breakthrough business idea for your small business in less than 5 minutes. My guest today is Phil Wilson from Labor Relations Institute and founder of Approachable Leadership. Phil, how are you?
I'm well, Christian. How are you?
I am well. I'm very much looking forward to this interview. I've been curious about what you have to say for a while. For those of you who don't know Phil, he is a national expert on leadership, labor relations, and creating positive workplaces. He is regularly featured in the business media, including Fox Business, Bloomberg News, HR Magazine, and the New York Times. He is a highly regarded keynote speaker, trainer, and author of numerous books, including the Approachability Playbook, 3 Essential Habits for Thriving Leaders and Teams, Left of Boom, Putting Proactive Engagement to Work, which reached number 2 on Amazon's Hot HR Books list, and Managing the Union Shop. Phil has testified multiple times as an expert before Congress on union corruption. He graduated magna cum laude from Augustana College in Illinois and earned his JD from the University of Michigan Law School. Prior to joining LRI, he practiced labor and employment law in Chicago, representing companies nationwide. He has also served as Director of Human Resources for a multi-million-dollar gaming corporation. So the subject today is approachable leadership, and the rules are simple. We have 5 minutes for the interview, and when the countdown timer reaches 0 and the buzzer goes off, the interview is cut, whether you are in full flight or mid-sentence. Phil, do you accept the challenge?
I accept the challenge, Christian.
Great. Your time starts now. One of the tools in your book deals with something called power distance. What does that mean?
Power distance is the idea that we all have a relationship to people in power. And sometimes that relationship is kind of like a peer relationship. So someone who's in a position of authority to us, we feel equal to them. Oftentimes, though, when we're dealing with someone in a position of power, we do not feel like equals, we feel inferior. And we'll respond differently to people if we feel that way. And so, for example, if we have high respect or high power distance with someone in an authority position, we're less likely to confront them. We use something called mitigated speech when we speak to them, but we're less likely to bring up concerns or challenges to them than we would somebody that we considered a peer to us. And that can have significant challenges all the way up to, it can be simple, like I'm not going to bring up an idea that might be able to improve things at work, or I'm not going to bring up something that's frustrating me, all the way up to when we teach our workshops, one of the examples that we use is plane crashes, where you can listen in on flight recordings in these tragic events where people in the low power position do not bring up a concern that could save not just everybody on the plane, but themselves, the folks in the cockpit as well. So it can have a significant issue. So the idea of power distance is that there's often gaps between people in high power and low power positions. And so our job as leaders is to do what we can to try to shrink those gaps and get as close as we can to sort of a peer-to-peer relationship.
So what are some of the benefits of being approachable?
Well, of course, the one I just mentioned is you're less likely to die. Right? If you're in a life or death situation and someone experiences a lot of power distance, they're not going to approach you. But there's a lot of other benefits to being approachable. Other health benefits include people with connections get better medical care. You're less likely to have chronic health conditions like cholesterol, heart disease, lower levels of anxiety and depression, lower levels of suicide. You make more money, so people that are approachable, more likely to get hired, less likely to get laid off. They make higher commissions. Lifetime earnings are higher. And then finally, you'll also have a better love life. So people that are approachable, more likely to get dates, less likely to be divorced, more likely to report satisfaction in their love life. And those are personal benefits to being approachable. As a leader, there's massive benefits to being approachable. Higher productivity from the folks that work for you, lower incidences of quality problems, higher levels of organizational citizenship behavior, 89% increase in organizational citizenship behavior, 71% lower turnover intention if you rate your leader as approachable. So it has huge leadership benefits as well as a lot of personal benefits.
A lot of leaders struggle to connect with others. Any tools we can use to help with that?
Yeah, the one that I teach a lot is this SLC plus C model, which stands for stop, listen, confirm, and then collaborate on a solution. And it's a hack for your brain. As leaders, we're usually great problem solvers, but when you're going into problem solving mode, you're often not listening. And so stop, listen, confirm stands for when you hear somebody, they come and present a challenge to you, you are listening to fill in these blanks. You feel blank because of blank. Do I have that right? And as soon as your brain starts trying to fill in the blank about a feeling, it shuts down the solution part of your brain, which means you're actually going to listen. And then the key to this trick is that if you start trying to answer with a feeling, even if you get that wrong, the person who is presenting to you will feel like you're listening. Even if you get maybe the nuance wrong, they'll re-explain. No, I don't feel frustrated. I feel a little overwhelmed, but at that point they feel understood. And then you can go to the last C, which is to collaborate on a solution. And a lot of times when people come to us, Christian, they don't necessarily want a solution. They want to feel heard. They already know how to solve their problem. They're happy to go do it. They just don't feel good, right? And so once they feel understood, then they're happy to go off and solve their own problem. Does that make sense?
So so it's kind of like an extension of that reflective listening we learn in marriage counseling.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, the key is if I understand how you feel, we're going to be on a level playing field at that point, and that's when we can really start to connect and collaborate on a solution.
Very good. Phil, how can people get to more information and resources from you?
Easiest way, Christian, is approachable.leadership.com. That's our website. That can take you to all the other places that you can contact us. But I'm on Twitter at approachableldr. I'm on LinkedIn. That's another great place to connect with me. LinkedIn.com/PB Wilson. But those are two additional places to connect.
Awesome. Phil, thank you for your time today. Look forward to reading your book.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. Talk to you soon.
You bet. Bye-bye.